Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday evening. I hope you guys are all well since last Tuesday. And today we're going to carry on with excerpts. Now this week actually, so on Tuesday, we're going to read selected excerpts from the sources regarding increasing the importance of the goal. Now, as you know, we can only have fuel and energy according to how something is important for us. So this is a very important topic so that we can actually get some tips from the sources regarding how we can increase this importance so we can stay on the path. Now, once again, if you're new to the YouTube channel here, these lessons are not for beginners, or these Tuesday evening sessions, let's call them, are not for beginners. If you're interested in studying the wisdom of Kabbalah and you came across our YouTube page and you'd like to study, you can please go to kabbalah.info. And from there, you can register to the CABU Academy. And there, they'll actually take care of you because there are a lot of people studying from all around the world. And you'll probably, be with people from around your region or even your country and your city. So it's worthwhile going down that path if you're interested. Also, if you're interested but would like to first get a taste of things, you can go to the previous videos we've done on this YouTube page, and you can actually see the first semester, second semester, third semester lessons and see how you go. If you like it, stick around and you can register and study the wisdom of Kabbalah with like-minded people. Now then, also just a little heads up before we carry on. Now, although we're doing these Tuesday lessons and I'm kind of like trying to keep up with the Rav at least once a week on the topics that we study in the morning lessons, over the, in about two and a half, maybe 3 months, I don't know yet, we're going to start a course for Africa. And that course will be from here and also from our education center. So we will have a course that starts specifically for Africa. It'll be 9 p.m. our time, so that's GMT +3. So if you have any friends that might be in Africa, living in Africa, and might be interested, then it's a good idea for them to keep their eyes open for further notices. Now, let's get started with these articles, and you guys should all have a link to these. If also you're not getting our emails regarding the lessons, you can just drop a line on the YouTube chat box. Send give us your name and your email number, and our friends will note it down and they'll put you onto the mailing list. Also, if you're interested in any courses that are coming up, we'll keep you up to date. Now, let's start increasing the importance of the goal, selected excerpts from the sources. And our first source is from Rabash, article number 24. The main thing we need and for which we have, excuse me, the main thing we need and for which we have no fuel for the work is that we are lacking the importance of the goal. That is, we do not know how to appreciate our service so as to know to whom we are bestowing. Also, we're lacking the awareness of the greatness of the Creator, to know how happy we are that we have the privilege of serving the King, since we have nothing with which to be able to understand His greatness. In the words of the Zohar, this is called divinity in the dust, meaning that bestowal upon Him is as important to us as dust. Naturally, we have no fuel to work, since without pleasure, there's no energy to work. So here we've got to keep this thing in mind. If I want to attain anything in life, it has to be important for me. If it's not important, we're not going to get it anywhere. So spirituality, which is, according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, is love of others and bestowing to others. And because our nature is full on reception for oneself, well, that's not really important for us, is it? Who wants to bestow? I mean, we like to take, want to grab everything, want to have everything, but we don't really want to give anything, okay? Sometimes we do give, but that's in order to make ourselves feel better, because some people actually get pleasure and contentment from giving, but that's still not the bestowal that the Kabbalists are talking about. We have to bestow in such a way that it is actually exactly like the Creator. And because we're nowhere near that, we're just not drawn to that at all. For us, spirituality and bestowal is absolutely worth nothing. So how are we going to go about it? Well, it's a good thing we've got a dot in the heart, which is a good starting point, because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have anything to start with in the first place. So first things first, we've got a dot in the heart. So something inside of us is curious, very curious about the meaning of life, about why life is not so great, about why we can't be happy, why we're lacking fulfillment, why, you know? So all these things are very important for this dot in the heart. And this dot in the heart is the thing that's really bugging us. And it's giving us a bit of a discomfort. And life is also showing us that it doesn't have much taste to offer to us anymore. And we can also see that in the modern society as well, in the 21st century, when we look at our lives and we see that we see what's happening with everything in life, we can see that we don't get taste from anything. I mean, the COVID-19 is giving us pressure. The economy is always going to be dramatic now. People don't realize at the moment that the economy is not going to go back to normal. All right, we've gone through an enormous change as society during this COVID-19. So economy going back to its regular trend or regular routine is not going to happen. It can't happen. Also, we're not out of the woods yet with this COVID-19, even though it'll dissipate. We're still going to have dramas with it. We're still going to be, fighting all kinds of mutations with it. So we're stuck with this virus, actually. And also, we keep getting reports from the world that, the vaccines that we have are not really helping the mutated versions. So there's all kinds of dramas going around in the world right now. So life is really squeezing us to make a change. Okay, and we have to read the message, but instinctively, what we always do is try to run away from the problem rather than to analyze the problem and see what the root cause is. And the root cause is our lack of balance with nature. Because being in balance with nature is the same thing as having the attribute of bestowal, because nature is all balanced out. In nature, all parts of nature consider each other because they understand that everything is interdependent, but they understand all these things instinctively. Whereas humanity, as humans, we don't. So our problem is that we don't really want to have this balance. We just want to swallow up the earth. We just want to get back to our lives, make the most of it, and carry on living. Unfortunately, things aren't going to happen this way. And so for us to have some importance about the meaning of life, life will have to squeeze us. Now, instead of getting squeezed, we can work from another perspective, and that is to make some effort to move forward. So if we all make some effort to progress in spirituality, then obviously that'll be less of a squeeze. And it'll be, even if there is a squeeze, it'll be a squeeze with understanding. Now, a lot of the times when we have a problem about life, when we're constantly questioning our lives about why this happened to me, why that happened to me, it's because we don't understand the cause of the problem. If we understood what was causing the problem, that 50% of the problem would be over because we'd know what to do about it. But life doesn't show us really specifically, obviously, it doesn't make it obvious for us what the problem is. So what we have to do is sit down and study and discover what is the root cause of all our problems. And that is our egoism, because we want to swallow everything up. And in nature, there is no swallowing everything up. There is taking as much as you need and leaving the rest alone. So we're not there yet. So until we get there, it's going to be a bit of a drama. Now, we can, like I said, get the importance of the goal through dramas, or we can study the wisdom of Kabbalah, study with a group of friends together, and increase the importance of the goal among us, so we won't have that much suffering. Let's carry on reading. We're going to read again from Rabash. This is excerpt number 2. Let me just make this a little bigger because I can see better this way. Okay, there we go. Their whole pleasure, which gives them fuel so they can work in order to bestow, is to feel that they are bringing contentment to the Creator and are praising and thanking the Creator for giving them the thought and desire to work for Him and not to receive any other reward for their work. They say that in order to receive reward, we do not need to feel the greatness of the Creator. Rather, we need to consider the greatness and importance of the reward we will receive if we observe the commandments and our spiritual path. All right, so Torah and Mitzvot means studying spirituality, and keeping our corrections are actually doing our corrections. But the Creator can stay for them at the same level of greatness and importance as He was for them at the beginning of their work. However, if their intention is to bring contentment to the Creator, and then if they want to increase the work, they must increase the greatness of the Creator. Since to the extent of His greatness, to that extent they can annul before Him and do everything they do only for the sake of the Creator. Right? So we've got a bit of a drama here. In order for us, because we don't know what the Creator is, right? We don't know who the Creator is. We don't know what the Creator is. We don't know nothing, right? That's our situation. So what we'd like to do is, first of all, understand what the Kabbalists are saying. And they're saying bestowing to the Creator is the most pleasurable thing, is the most serene thing. It's just perfection. But because our nature is so against bestowal, and for us it's not important, we have to kind of make this thing important so we can run forward with it. So in order for us to do that, we have to see some kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, or we have to come to some kind of an intellectual understanding about what the future holds for us. Because I'll tell you why. Because even if I don't want to do something, if I intellectually understand that I need to do this, then I can find and fathom some strength to do something. Like going to work, right? I mean, I don't really like going to work, but in understanding, I feel I have to, right? So my heart doesn't want it, but my mind understands I have to. So same here, we have to come, this is why the study is very important, because the study gives us, from the text, from the Kabbalistic writings, we begin to understand the necessity of coming to the purpose of creation. And that necessity of, the understanding of the necessity to come to the purpose of creation then allows us to convince ourselves to go one step forward all the time. And that's the most important thing here to understand. So we want to make spirituality important and want to bring ourselves to do all our spirituality in order to bestow to the Creator. And how that's going to happen, well, we're going to work on it. Let's see what else. Are there any questions, by the way? Yes? No? Okay, so there's one from David. What is the goal? Well, that's a good one. Is it also, David's asking, Is it us or the creator that increases the importance of the goal? So let's go with the first question first. What is the goal? Well, the purpose of life, our goal in life, is to come to perfection. And perfection means existing in reality like the creator. So since we are not there in life, we're feeling a lot of sorrow, and we feel like we're lacking everything, and we feel like we can never get fulfilled, and we feel like we can never be happy, all these kinds of things. So life is squeezing us and showing us how crappy our life is. And from this crap state, what we can actually do is, if we study and understand, like I said, the purpose of life, then we can actually strive to that in order to come to perfection. So existing in reality like the creator in perfection is the purpose of our lives and the purpose of creation, actually. So that's that. Is it us or the creator that increases the importance of the goal? Well, the importance of the goal has to be increased by the individuals who are studying. Okay, so the creator can't do everything. I mean, he can do everything, but we've got to do some work as well. Okay, so increasing the importance of the goal is upon the person who's studying, the group, that is. Do we make spirituality important to ourselves or for the friends? Well, to ourselves and to the friends. If everybody was working on making spirituality important to all the friends, then we'd all be running pretty good, you know. So everybody needs to kind of reflect that to the 10, to the friends, so we can actually kind of run forward, move forward. And even if we have a few down days every now and then, we can pick up the pieces and keep moving. So it's very important for the 10 to make sure they keep up the work, make it constant, and just keep moving forward. So it's very important that all of us give each other a good mood, importance, being a good example, just basically doing whatever we can. So it's kind of mutual responsibility there. Okay, so let's read a little bit more. Let's go to item number 3. When a person should replace the goal, meaning where in the beginning of his work in Torah and Mitzvot, which is studying the wisdom of Kabbalah and getting corrected, his goal, which he wanted to achieve through the labor, was self-benefit. Now he replaces the goal. That is, where he thought, when will I achieve the goal for my will to receive so I can enjoy? Now he yearns for the goal and says, when will I be able to delight the Creator and relinquish self-benefit? Since this purpose is against nature, he needs more faith in the Creator, since he must always exert to obtain the greatness of the Creator. That is, to the extent that he believes in the greatness of the Creator, so that extent he can work with this intention. For this reason, it is upon a person to pray each day that the Creator will open his eyes, so he will recognize the greatness and importance of the Creator, so he has fuel to labor with the aim to bestow. So there we go. Also, another great thing that can help us is to turn to the Creator. Obviously, that's with everything we do. So whenever a person feels like he can, he's like losing his strength and is just not grasping the situation, there's always room to turn to the Creator. And what better way to turn to the Creator than from the 10, from the friends? Because if I can pray for the whole group, and because I'm included in the 10 as well, or in my group, it covers everybody. So as long as I'm thinking about the friends, trying to advance them as well as much as I can with my examples, with my inner actions, which is called a prayer, plus my outer actions of being a good example, I don't know, just doing everything that we can in order to advance in spirituality, then I'm actually, really fulfilling my role. I'm really doing what I can, and that fulfills everybody's role. Okay. All right, then. So let's do this. Patricia is asking, is it good to see the work as comfort? My world keeps throwing disasters. Kabbalah gives me a positive focus. Well, that's good, actually, because that's what it's supposed to do. Why are we studying the wisdom of Kabbalah? Because, well, for one thing, life is showing us that life is really crummy at the moment. And Kabbalah is actually giving us a lot of answers. It's explaining to us why it's crummy and why it will not get better, why it can't get better. So when we, when we find ourselves in these explanations, it starts to make sense. And because it begins to make sense and I start to understand what's going on with me, I get this good feeling that, even though life can throw a few rotten tomatoes at me, I can somehow dodge around them, because I'm learning how to do it. So studying the wisdom of Kabbalah actually is like a blessing in disguise, I reckon, because it allows us to really maneuver through all the ins and outs of a life. So it's good that you feel that way, and it should be that way too. We should actually, when we study the wisdom of Kabbalah, we should actually feel how advantageous it is. Really, it just gives a person an understanding. It gives a person a direction as well, like how to relate to everything that's coming to me. So all of a sudden, I feel psychologically empowered as well. So on the one hand, I can actually take care of my daily stuff, any obstacle or any, discomforts that come my way. And on the other hand, I'm also doing my best to relate to life in such a way that I'm utilizing it and leveraging it in order to advance spiritually as well. So all of these things coming together and you having a good positive feeling about it is really good, actually. We should be happy in the wisdom of Kabbalah. That's really good. I'm really happy to hear that. All right, so let's rock and roll and start reading a bit more. Let's move to number 4. All right, this one's from Bala Sulam. It's from his Shamati article, number 211. One who's sitting at one's home is not as one who's standing before a king. This means that faith should be that he will feel all day as though he's standing before the king. Then his love and fear will certainly be complete. As long as he has not achieved this kind of faith, he should not rest. For this is our lives and the length of our days, and we will accept no recompense. And the lack of faith should be woven in his limbs until the habit becomes a second nature, to the extent that when I remember him, he does not let me sleep. But all the corporeal matters quench this lack, since he sees that anything that gives him pleasure, the pleasure cancels the deficiency and the pain. Rather, he must want no consolation and should be careful with any corporeal thing that he receives so it does not quench his desire. This is done by regretting that by this pleasure, the sparks and powers of the vessels, holiness, are missing in him, meaning desire for holiness. Through the sorrow, he can keep from losing the kelim of holiness. Now, this is interesting, all right? This is interesting. I'll tell you why. It's interesting. Normally, right, because we're a desire to receive pleasure, we want to be happy in life. So we're always striving for things to be good and great in our lives, in our corporeal lives, okay? So Baal Islam says, you've got to be careful about this, right? Because when you're striving for corporeal comfort and corporeal good stuff, it usually makes you lose focus on spirituality. Why is that? Because only when a person really thinks and focuses about the meaning of life when there is meaninglessness, right? So if all of a sudden, if I get good things in life and I focus on the good things, then I lose my grasp or my hold on spirituality. So sometimes friends argue or, well, justly, I guess, complain. Say, listen, we're studying the wisdom of Kabbalah. We came to study, get corrected, come to the purpose of life, and we're still getting hammered. Well, that's not a bad thing at all, actually, because when you're getting hammered, first of all, when you're getting hammered, you're not being thrown off the bandwagon, because when you start getting pleasure, comfort, then you won't want to move from that comfort zone. So the creator has to kind of create something that will get you out of your comfort zone. If he didn't do that, then you won't move forward. Our nature loves comfort. So if everything is honky-dory, I'm not going to do anything. But if the creator is constantly pinching me, that means he's actually paying attention to me. He's actually directing me towards spirituality, because as I'm getting pinched in life, I'm beginning to think there's nothing worth living for. So I'll just study and move forward and run for it. So having a few dramas in life, or several, or one after the other, it doesn't really matter how it comes, right, is not a bad thing. If you're studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, it actually keeps you on track. It keeps you focused. So no need to feel kind of scared about it either. Like I said, the beauty of the thing is, when you're studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's really, really interesting, because on the one hand, you're getting dramas. On the other hand, you get the understanding of why this drama is coming to you. And then you begin to appreciate the fact that the creator isn't throwing so much good stuff to you, because you begin to understand that if he did, you'd just not go forward. You just wouldn't. So all of this kind of understanding settles down in a person, and then a person begins to feel good that he's got problems, because that's how he can cling on to the creator. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, okay, because we're doing the right thing, but we're getting dramas, but it is actually very, very logical, because this way a person can cling on to the path. A person can turn to the creator all the time, can stick to the group all the time. It's like a kid who's scared and clings on to mummy, right? So same with the person, just cling on to the group, to overcome all these things. And it's really, in logic, it's really contrary to to what we think and believe. However, though, if you look at it from a Kabbalistic perspective, this is how it should be. Right? And this understanding of how it should be also is great help to a person, because the person then stops thinking about when's it going to be good for me. Just stops thinking about it. And when you stop thinking about when it's going to be good for me, then you can start to distance yourself from this trap of constantly going back to thinking about yourself. So all of these things are actually working to our advantage. But the problem is, because we're designed to receive pleasure, when a few dramas happen, a lot of people don't stick around. So understanding this topic is really important. Okay? This is why the goal needs to be important for us. If it's not important, then, every little drama, you're going to just take off. Same with our relationships, right? If the relationship isn't important to us, then, the slightest argument, we're just going to say, oh, you know what, forget this relationship, I'll just move on. Okay. And that's not really a helpful situation either. So just like in relationships, when a relationship or when the family is really important, and you have, let's say, an argument with your partner or spouse, then you want to sit down and work it out. You want to solve the problem. You want to tie it up with a nice ending. because otherwise everybody just takes off, with the smallest, like I said, drama, and then, nobody's got anything in their hands left. So it all becomes more problematic. So here we need to think about it the same way. Now, if the creator is important, if the meaning of life is important, because at the end of the day, we're just going to end up dead, right? So we're born, we're living, and we don't know when we're going to die. It could be just next second. We don't know. So while I've got this limited amount of time, we can rationally say, well, it's worth attaining something great. It's worth attaining something good while I've got these counted days here. So this understanding is important, and that's why we need to pay extra attention to these excerpts, because they really describe to us what kind of situation that we're going to find ourselves in. Okay. And so Muhammad is asking, what does believing in the greatness of the Creator mean? Well, the Creator means, obviously, he's not something like Father Christmas, right? So the Creator is the attribute of love and bestowal. And what we have to do is come to believe that his attribute of love and bestowal is great. Now, for us to come to real faith and belief, we have to discover that. If we don't discover it, we're not going to really believe. So until we discover the greatness of the Creator, which means that the Creator is loving and bestowing, until we come to reveal that, we're not going to be able to really believe. Believing means to actually attain this attribute of love and bestowal. So we're in a bit of a dilemma in this situation. So when Kabbalah says we have to believe, right, they mean that we have to come to believe. But in the interim, because we haven't revealed the Creator and we can't see that he's good and doing good, I have to believe what my teachers say, that the Creator knows what he's doing and it's for our benefit. So this is why, the teachers or Kabbalists spend a great deal of time trying to explain to students how, even though the world looks awful, how from this awfulness we can get spirituality. And if everything was great, we wouldn't actually want to get spirituality. So a lot of hours, a lot of books, and a lot of lectures are spent on this topic alone. How to reconcile a crap world with the Creator being good and doing good. It's a major drama. So this is why we've got parents. They send us to school despite the fact that we may not want to go to school, but they forcefully send us. And we think they're bad mummy and daddy because we want to play outside. Instead, we're going to school. However, though, as we grow up, we understand that they did the right thing. So here also the Kabbalists, what they're trying to do is to raise us. They want us to grow up, and they want us to see things from a different perspective rather than just looking at life from our desire to receive pleasure. Because the moment you get stuck in your desire to receive pleasure, you're nothing but a cat or a dog or any other animal. You're just stuck in yourself. So we have to come, until we come to see and reveal the Creator's greatness and bestowal, what we have to do is just trust the Kabbalists, take their advice, hold their hands, and move forward. David's asking, should we pray that the Creator give our friends problems? No, I think the Creator is already doing a good job of that. So we don't have to ask for extra dramas. Okay. What we can do, is ask from the Creator to give us the power to bestow, the desire to bestow, the strength to bestow, so that he can connect all of us together in this attribute of love and bestowal. Okay, so these things we can ask for, but asking for problems is not a good idea, okay? And we have to understand our Creator is a very creative Creator. So he's going to really surround us with all kinds of small, medium, and large issues that are really going to kind of give us the desire, the vessels, to want to get to spirituality. All right, so this is going to be, so in short, don't ask for problems. All right, I think everybody's got enough. So let's move forward. We're on item number 5, right? Yes, we're on item number 5. Okay. In order to have feel to work, in order to bestow and not receive any reward, but the work itself will be the reward, we must believe in him, meaning believe in his greatness. We must make great efforts to obtain faith in the greatness of the Creator. Without faith in the greatness of the Creator, there is no power to work in order to bestow. That is precisely when we feel the greatness of the Creator, a person is ready to work without any reward. Instead, the work itself is the reward. Since serving a great king is more valuable to him than any fortune in the world, compared to this service, that the Creator permits him to come in and serve him. Hence, we must focus all our thoughts on how to come to feel the greatness of the Creator, and then everything follows that point. All right, so obviously, like I said, like Muhammad asked a minute ago as well, same kind of thing. So what is he saying here? In order to have feel to work, in order to bestow and not receive any reward, but the work itself will be the reward, we must believe in him. So until we come to believe in the Creator, until we reveal the Creator, that's what it means. Until I have a connection with the Creator, it's problematic. Right? Because it means until I have a connection with the Creator, I'm still in my desire to receive for myself. So having faith is not going to happen in that situation. So what we have to do with that, having faith, right now, if I don't have faith, what do I have to do? Well, we have to try to feel the greatness of the Creator. How can I try to feel the greatness of the Creator? Well, if I've got a bunch of friends that we're all working with, then we can all practice amongst each other the love of friends, right? Remember Rabash's articles about the love of friends. If we all practice the love of friends, and if we all try to love each other, even though we may not at the moment, but we're making effort to do so, this game that's happening among us will give us some kind of taste, some kind of enlightenment about what having a good connection means between friends. And that specific good feeling that there is this vibe between us, this positive vibe that connects us, keeps us together, gives us a good feeling, is actually precisely an illumination. That's when a person can start to think, oh my God, I feel good because I'm connected to the friends. Now, these little tastes that we get in the work, which you should get, are already like a motivation for us. Just like, these are like a little kiss on the cheek and a little hug saying, hey, you're doing great. Okay. Of course, after that, we will fall again, right? And then we work again to raise ourselves again. So our work is always going up and down, up and down, up and down, ascents and descents, ascents and descents. So the more we work on it, you also get stronger at it as well. And what happens is the illuminations, those little nuances that I just spoke about, start to intensify. It's like this little frequency thing, right? So at first the frequency is like kind of very, outwards, kind of this extended accordion, right? But as you move forward, what happens is the frequency kind of increases. So you're always going through these ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, but they're really helping you to focus and to sharpen your attitude. So that whole concept here is it's like cause and consequence working together. So until we come to that level of faith, working in the friends, working in the group with the friends, is what gives us these little nuances or these little sensations about the good side of spirituality. Despite the fact that we fall immediately after these good feelings, it's still an impression there which will give us something to look forward to. Okay. Let's see what we've got. So David's asking, how can we ask for bestowal if we can't really understand what it is? Well, good. That's a nice question. We don't understand what it is. So what does the Creator tell us? What does the Creator show us? So listen, guys, you don't know what bestowal is because you're all a desire to receive pleasure for yourselves. That's what the Kabbalists are explaining to us, right? However, though, if I make you guys feel really, really bad in your desire to receive, and even though you don't know what it means to bestow, you will want to run away from your desire to receive. Does that make sense? Am I talking sense? Right? I don't know what it means to bestow, but through the work, I come to an understanding that I do not want to carry on living in this state. And that's already a good thing, because I'm saying to my egoism, I don't want to be an egoist. This thing just makes me suffer. Okay? It's just causing me problems all the time. So I don't want to be an egoist. I just want to get out of it. So we don't want to bestow, yes, but we also don't want to stay an egoist. So this Exodus from Egypt story is quite related to this, because that's how they escaped from the Pharaoh. They just don't want to live like this anymore. And that's what it means to run away from the Pharaoh, to run away from their self-love and egoism. They just see that it's just causing them problems all the time in life. Okay? So even though they're not in bestowal when they're escaping from Egypt, they do want to get away from their egoism. All right? That's what running away from Pharaoh means. And then Spencer is asking, how can we come to feel that we're bringing contentment to the Creator? Is this related to raising the importance? Well, absolutely. I've got to raise the importance. It's like if I love someone, they're important for me. So currently the Creator is absent. We don't see him, we don't feel him, we have no perception towards him whatsoever. However, though, the Creator played a nice trick on us. He said, listen, guys, if you want to attain my attribute of love and bestowal, you can. You can. Because at the end of the day, what difference does it make if you love me or the friends? Because the Creator is the attribute of love and bestowal. And since we want to attain this attribute, and that is what gives us the sensation of the Creator says, no problem. Love your friends. That's the whole trick. So, by trying to love the friends, by trying to increase the importance of the goal between us and among us all the time, we're actually bringing contentment to the Creator. Because what's the difference between me bringing happiness and joy to my friend on the path so that we can move forward, get even closer to the Creator? What's the difference between making him happy for this cause and making the Creator happy? It's the same thing. Why? Because the Creator wants to get close to us. And the friends in the group, they also want to get close to the Creator as well. So if I'm helping them to get closer to the Creator, I'm kind of like helping the Creator get close to the friends as well. So the Creator is happy, the friends are happy, everybody's happy. So I should be happy, okay? So check if your friends are happy with your attitude towards the spiritual work that we're doing together. That's the best and surest way to check anything. If your loved ones are happy, same thing with family. If your loved ones are happy, that's it. Done deal. Okay. So let's see what we've got. Let's read a little bit more. We're on item number 6. There is only one way to try to attain the greatness of the Creator. That is, in all that we do, in Torah and corrections, we want our reward to be the feeling of the greatness of the Creator. And all our prayers should be to raise divinity from the dust. Since the Creator is hidden from us due to the restriction that took place, and we cannot appreciate his importance and greatness. Therefore, we pray to the Creator to remove his concealment from us and to raise the glory of Torah. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to work. We have to make some effort. If I make effort and then I see that I can't do it, then I've got someone to turn to, and that's the Creator. Now, I can't change my nature, but I can want my nature to change, right? Just a minute ago, like I said about running from Egypt. I can't change my nature, but I can come to the understanding that I need to change this, or I need to like get rid of it or nullify it or stop using it. I can come to that understanding. It's like a bad habit, right? Let's say you're smoking and the doctor says, listen, you've got to stop smoking, otherwise you're going to end up dead. Right? So what you're addicted to it, but you just want to get away from it. So you're doing everything you can to stop smoking. And that's exactly how it's like. We're also addicted to our desire to receive. We just can't get rid of it. We constantly want pleasure, 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 pleasure. So how far can you go? You go to a level until you discover that the purpose of life and your desire to receive pleasure for yourself are just not compatible. They're not compatible. And this lack of compatibility is a problem because it's bringing you grief. And the greater the delta between them, then that's it. The more suffering you get. So instinctively, we want to just get rid of it. And also, this is what we see with the new generation too. The new generation, they don't want to do anything. They're not interested in doing anything. They just want to chill out. You don't see people running after careers anymore. Not a lot of them anyway. The new generation, they just want to have a different lifestyle. They don't want to get stuck in this rat race like us. And they're right. Absolutely. So what we have to here is come to this understanding. The understanding that the way we're doing things right now is just bad, and it's bad for us. So once we discover that this badness, the source of this bad, is from our egoistic nature, then we'll want to change. We'll want to stop using our ego. If we see it's causing us harm, and that's the whole trick, to come to see that our ego is bad. Okay, so until then, well, we have to work on it. All right. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, let's do one more and call it a night. The friend, number 7. Okay, the friends should primarily speak together about the greatness of the Creator. Because according to the greatness of the Creator, that one assumes, to that extent, he naturally annuls himself before the Creator. It is as we see in nature that the small one annuls before the great one. And this has nothing to do with spirituality. Rather, this conduct applies even among regular people, secular people. In other words, the Creator made nature this way. Thus, the friends' discussions of the greatness of the Creator awaken a desire and yearning to annul before the Creator, because he begins to feel longing and desire to bond with the Creator. So we're all products of the environment. So if my friends keep telling me, this is great, this is great, this is great, I'll begin to think, God, this is great. So instead of thinking that something else is great in life, I begin to think that spirituality is great in life. Why? Because the environment is influencing me. They're telling me our path is so important. We have to get to the purpose of life. This is great. And out of all the people, billions of them, who don't even think about the purpose of life, they just want to have a good, decent life in this world. We got the opportunity to ask that golden question, the meaning of life, and have the ability to raise ourselves, elevate ourselves to a higher level of perception. That on its own is priceless. if you ask me. But there you go, everybody's got their own opinion. So what we have to really do is, among the friends, all of us together, think, talk, do, and then understand how important the Creator is, how important the meaning of life is, and attaining the meaning of really is. All right. So that was number 7. Let's see. I think we've got one last question from David. If I'm falling asleep in Rab's lesson, is it better to sleep with my camera on or off? Well, that's a good question. Like, if you're dozing off, all right, if you're dozing off, but you're there in front of the camera, it's good that the friends see you. It doesn't matter if you doze off a little bit as well. It's all right. Sometimes it happens to everyone, okay? But it's better for the friends to see you. Obviously, I hope you're not lying down in bed, right? You're on a chair, sitting at your table, and you're probably just dozing off like this. Sometimes it happens. I'd keep the camera on if I was in that kind of situation. Like I said, obviously, we don't want to be in bed with our pajamas and then sleeping it off. All right, that's not a good idea. Then we'll really be jealous of you, but that'll be a negative jealousy, okay? Not a positive one. All right. So in the interim, guys, we'll call it a night, okay? And we'll see you guys next week. Have a great evening. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.